Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Lewisboro Library groundbreaking ceremony. I'd like at this point to hand it off to Cindy Rubino, the director of our library.
Hi, everybody. I am so thrilled to be here and to have all of you with us today. As my husband used to say to me when we started this project so long ago, not in your natural life. Everybody. I am so glad that you're all here. I am Cindy Rubino, the library director. I'm just so thrilled that you're all here because the library is nothing without its community, and it is here for the community. So thank you so much for being here. It's been quite a journey that we've been on. And we have a number of speakers. Hopefully we'll keep it short. When we're finished with the speeches, we're going to move over to the side of the building to have a brief ribbon cutting. And then please all come in. And we've got wonderful activities planned for the day today. So I first want to introduce Mary Shaw. She's the vice president of our library board.
All the applause is going for the library. I'd like to welcome friends and neighbors. Are you excited to see your new library today? Yes! This project before you is a true labor of love. Many years in the planning and plans in the making have produced this wonderful community gathering place, and we can't wait to share with all of you. Libraries have taken on a new role in this era of ever-changing technology, and we serve many audiences. For every person who likes a leisurely browse of the latest books, inhaling the new book smells, there is another who browses the online catalog to download ebooks to their handheld device. Yes, you can still go there to gather research for your resume writing, but you can also ask about the job database resources and career counseling services available. The library is where you can go for inspiration, whether it is for a new recipe to impress your in-laws or a new plot complication for the novel you've been writing. The library is also a place to go for solace as well, whether it is a book on grief and healing or to charge your phone during the latest superstorm. Most importantly of all, the Lewisboro Library is a gathering place for our community. With ongoing programs for children, teens, and adults, the library's aim is to educate, enrich, and entertain all those who pass through our doors. In this era of information overload and Wikipedia mislead, the role of the library is ever more important. No more shushing, no more gatekeeping. The future of the library is creating a safe place for all of the community to gather, educating and improving access to the latest information, and putting together exciting experiences for the whole community. It is in celebrating this rededication of Lewisboro Library during National Poetry Month that I wish to share a little poem from my pocket. It is written by Maya Stein, and it's called Library. It's not about the books you read or the words you learn the meanings to. It's not about famous authors and their lineups of titles. It's not about how heavily the shelves are stocked in the latest bestseller. It's about what happens when you turn away from the traffic of the world and get so quiet you start hearing your own stories coming out, unraveling, asking to be written. The story of today is thanks to the community that believes in its library. We thank you for supporting the library. We thank the major supporters who donated money. And that includes Adam R. Rose and Peter R. McQuillan, Shelby White and the Jerome Levy Foundation, the Handler family, Dexter Baldwin McGonigal Foundation, Mr. and Mrs. Thurkoff, Nancy and John Ferguson, the Page family, the Klotzkin family in memory of Sophie Petrover, and in memory of Al and Natalie Height. We thank the architects for planning this space. We thank the Friends for raising money. We thank the committees and councils who approved the plans for our new space. We thank you, the community, for help creating the library you wanted and for writing your own story.
Thank you, Mary. Now we're going to hear from Peter Parsons, our town supervisor and former library board president.
Good morning. When people talk about the process of building this place or rebuilding it, they tend to focus on the presidents and they tend of the library board of trustees, and they tend to focus on the major donors. Major donors were really important. The presidents may even have had some mild importance, but there were very many others who worked enormously hard on making this happen. And at the risk of making some enemies, I am going to single out just a few because I happen to remember them. And at my age, you know, memory is pretty random. First, Shannon Robinette.
Oh, yay.
Shannon. Maureen sort of sneakily put me on the long-term planning committee. Well, it was remarkably easy because Shannon had already done all the work. Shannon became the key initial fundraiser. She was critical. She organized a huge set of dinners around town, and if anybody ever wants to figure out how to raise money in this community, that is an incredible way to do it, and she did it brilliantly. Martha Handler, not because of her donation, which was fantastic, but because of her sheer energy in the time she was on the board of trustees, and the fact that she ran a square dance, and did she run it? And it was a magnificent success and a great event. Again, a big fundraiser. I'd like to thank Donald and Renee as our architects. Any sane people would have thrown this project in after design number 8. They've kept at it. They were amazing. They accepted criticism. They accepted stupid ideas. They accepted everything, and they made it all work. I'd like to thank Dorothy Carr, who was the librarian when this began. Dorothy made a huge contribution on the financial side to this. Basically, because she created the library's initial relationship with Adam Rose and Peter McQuillan. I'm not going to go into how, but it was the beginning of a remarkable cooperation between the library and those two. And at the same time, she came within an inch of completing our fundraising goal by pulling in the Kresge Foundation, and did an enormous amount of work to try to get that donation. Unfortunately, we were delaying enough that the Kresge people didn't believe in us. So we lost that one. But delay has its advantages. We have now got a library which fits our current needs. It is a library which is adapted for technology. It is a library which no longer has a significant reference section because quite honestly, reference sections have become little screens in the corner. So, this has been a huge journey. It has been a journey from John Bunyan's Slough of Despond, otherwise known as the Swamp of Despondency, through to John Winthrop's shining city on a hill, which we have today. I'm now going to pass this to Maureen. And most ladies, you know, like to be remembered or like to be thought of as being way younger than their actual years.
Wait, don't go any how far.
I don't know where he's going.
But Maureen takes great pleasure in reminding you that she was part of the book brigade that brought the books over from John Keith Russell when the library was there to the initial library here in 1962.
I was in college, but
Thank you very much.
well, I wasn't here for that, but I moved to town about 3 years later. But I keep reminding people of the initial brigade, which was from the John Keith Russell up to here, and it involved the scouts and people like you who just wanted to be helpful. I'm a town historian, by the way, and that's why I'm telling you all this. But they had cars. They piled the books into those 1950 kind of cars and cart them up here. The Boy Scouts would keep open the parking spaces so the books could be unloaded when we moved from what was the church's meeting hall, and now the Russell Antiques, up here to our original building. Before I step down from my speech, I wanted to just go back a little further than that. Actually, the South Salem, which I have a hard time moving into Lewisboro Library, is one of the oldest continuing, I was going to wear my shirt, the oldest continuing library in New York State, because the initial library was founded in 1799. And at that point, we had no building. Well, I wasn't around. There was no building. And the books,
Sure?
yeah, it was a cave, a stone cave. The books were kept in the librarian's home. And the library's open like 4 times a year. 1 time each season, and so you got to keep your books for a long time. And if you did miss that one opening day, you had your fines accruing to the next season. So some of the books got lost over that time space, but in our lecture room, or not the lecture room, the conference room, some of those the original books, at least from our 1840 catalog, are still there. So when you take your tour of the library, look in those beautiful wooden cabinets and you'll see some of the books from the 1840s up into here. Anyway, the library started in 1799 in Aaron Keeler's home. He was the first librarian, and when that new building opened in 1962, which was our own first building, the librarian was another Keeler. It was Lois Keeler, who was married to a descendant of Aaron. And I'm thinking, as I was walking down here today, this is the first time we haven't had a Keeler represented at one of our openings, but they've all moved away or passed away, so there are no more Keelers. Library was vibrant, even though it was only open those few times during the year, up until the Civil War, when people were busy doing other things. A lot of the populace had gone away to fight the war. It was kind of a downturn in the area, so the library kind of fumbled. But toward the end of the century, in the 1890s, it came back to being the vibrant place it was. A little other downfall. 1940s was reorganized, and our charters are in there. I think our original charter was like 1900.
Yeah, 1909, I think.
Which the bank didn't like, right, Ken? We had a hard time convincing the bank we were a real library. And now here we are in this wonderful third expansion on this building, and let's hope it serves us for another 20, I don't know, how many more libraries you want to design, Donald? Anyway, that's the history in short of the South Salem Lewisboro, now the Lewisboro Library. So I'm glad I can be a part of it, even though I didn't help.
Thank you very much. I want to introduce our New York State Assemblyman, David Buchwald is here.
As your state assemblyman, one of my great responsibilities is helping to support public libraries. And I'm very pleased that a small portion of the effort that led to today's grand reopening were state library construction grants that are competitive grants. You should know that your library team worked very hard to make sure that the work I did when it came to the state budget actually ended up having a strong local impact. But this really isn't about what the state did today. It's about what the Lewisboro community has accomplished. And the contributions of time and money and effort over numerous years has culminated in what I think will be something that yields great benefits to Lewisboro for many years to come. And I am so thankful to the team of partners who helped make this possible. I know that she eschewed applause, but I do think Cindy Rubino deserves another round of applause for bringing this forward. The whole library board, the volunteers who put in so much time to make this possible, the support of the town board. We have a number of town board members here today joining Peter Parsons in recognition of the importance of this event. And then I'll just simply share that my first ever job, as far as I can recall, when I was much shorter and as a volunteer, was helping to reshelve library books in my local library here in Westchester. And I know that what this building represents is not just mortar and vinyl siding and shelving. It really represents an investment in the future of love of learning, and I hope that all Lewisboro residents, young and old, get to experience that for many decades to come. So congratulations, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. We do have two of our town councilmen here, Peter DeLucia and Dan Welch. If you want to say anything, you can say something very quickly.
I think brevity's best here.
Yeah, we're just so happy to see that finally back up and running. We missed it so much, and it's such a part of our lives that it's a great day.
Exactly, very excited. I think what Peter Parsons said it best too. Sometimes delays do work out for good fortune, and I think what's in front of us here today is just a gorgeous building that really fits this site, and I think everybody can't wait to get inside and get to take a look at how beautiful it is. So congratulations to everybody.
Okay, just quickly, I just want to wrap it up with just a few final thank yous. Again, thank you to everyone who's been on this journey with us. First of all, I want to thank the wonderful staff of the Lewisboro Library. To create our temporary space at the church, and how hard they have worked. I just brings tears to my eyes. Just means so much to me. They're a wonderful, wonderful team, and I so appreciate everything that you do for the library and your help. Very much. I want to thank the Reverend Chip Andrus and the South Salem Presbyterian Church for being such gracious hosts this past year. We worked out wonderfully well. So thank you again. I appreciate us letting you take over your building right there.
Glad you're here, but we'll miss you.
You can always visit.
Yep. I want to just thank also the 4 library board presidents who were active during the time of the construction or the fundraising section, and that would be, of course, Peter Parsons, Maureen Cole, Francis Lowald, who has moved out of the area, but he is hoped that he could be here. He worked very hard. And of course, Gary Page, who unfortunately had a work commitment today. But Gary was instrumental in getting this building done. He put all of the trustees. I see many of you here from over the years, all worked so hard over the years. And again, our architect. I just want to say that they worked on the project in a timely manner, and for which we are grateful, and built a wonderful building. But also, I have to tell you, I've got so many compliments on your behalf, including today, on such a great job you did on the site for running a clean, organized site. A lot of people were very grateful that you made the process a lot less painful for us this year on this site as well. We did receive 3 New York State construction grants, which were very useful in getting the funding done. I want to thank all of our supporters. We mentioned the major ones, but everybody who's worked on the fair or have helped us in any way, we can't do it without you. It's a real community effort. And I thought I saw Adam Rose and
Yes, you
Peter
did.
McQuillan here. They are. Not only were they financial supporters, for which we're very grateful, but Peter McQuillan was one of our design team. He helped us choose, along with the architects and Gary Page, choose all the colors and all the furnishings, and his help was invaluable. So the beautiful result you see here, he definitely contributed to as well. And hopefully, I haven't forgotten anybody.
Ribbon cutting?
Yep, so thank you. We are going to let us move to the side here. We'll have a formal ribbon cutting and roll the books in, and then please come in and come see the library, okay? So we're just going to adjourn and come right here quickly. There we go!
I'm with Adam Rose and Peter McQuillan, 2 longtime residents here in the town of Lewisboro who have funded so many great projects for the town. And behind me is the brand new renovated Lewisboro Library. Adam, Peter, why don't you tell me a little bit about your involvement in this fantastic project?
Pete, we have such great affection for the town of Lewisboro. We've been here over 20 years, and we've tried to be involved in the community in as many ways as we can. We've been involved with the library from the beginning. Since we first arrived, we found it to be a great resource for all ages. It's a sophisticated, smart institution. It's well run. The collection is up to date. We've always been very impressed with that. And when it came time to this major capital project, we knew we had to be involved. So we funded the reading room. We were very proud of that. And I think more important than our funding is the donation of my now husband, Peter, in the design process. So Peter is not an architect by training, but he worked very, very closely with the architects, and I think he should talk a little bit about the process.
Well, Peter, I heard there's some exciting things inside to take a look at it. You had direct involvement with. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, it was actually one of the nicest and more pleasant projects that we've worked on as donors of previous things, and the group was great. We all got to give our input into the design of the project, the interiors, and make it as pleasing and as just warm for the community, for the kids, and for the older adults, because that's generally who uses libraries now, are young children and older adults. So it really worked out well. I told Adam, I said it was really an enjoyable time, great experience, and we like giving to things in a local level rather than giving to large institutions, because I think it's more bang for the buck, and you get it gives you a better feeling giving at a lower level than giving at a higher level, and not feeling that you're writing a check and you're not getting any input or anything back from it. So that's one reason why we wanted to do something for the library this year and this time.
Well, I could tell you on behalf of the town board, and I tell you the entire town of Lewisboro, you've had a positive impact on our town. And just, just looking behind me at the beautiful building here now that really fits this campus, and I got the advantage of taking a look around before in the children's section with those beautiful Chinese lanterns and the pergola, just the whole layout. I think everybody's really going to enjoy this beautiful building, and I want to thank both of you so much, from the bottom of my heart and from the town and everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been a great experience.
Thanks a lot. It's been really great.
I'm with the pastor, Chip Andrews, of the South Salem Presbyterian Church, who really played a significant role here during the construction of the Lewisboro Library. Chip, why don't you tell me a little bit about it?
Well, when the library was looking for a temporary space while construction was going on, South Salem Presbyterian Church invited them into our fellowship hall and to create a temporary home for the library during the time that the construction was going on. And while they didn't have all the books that they wanted to have because of limited space, it worked out great because of the consortium. The library kept moving forward. And I have to tell you, we're going to miss them at South Salem Presbyterian Church, because one thing I learned, I knew this already, but it was so visible at the church. So many people in this town visit the library, and not just visit it to find a book, but come and make it a place of refuge for them, a place of learning, people of all ages. And it was wonderful to have those kinds of that kind of traffic coming through the church. But most of all, I got to say this: it would be kind of, you would think, uncomfortable having a library in your main space in the church for your fellowship, and that was absolutely opposite of the case. This was a wonderful relationship. It was wonderful to have them there. It was wonderful for the church to be able to serve the community in this way, allow this construction to go on, but most of all, to have a relationship that was a lot closer with all the library staff, who are absolutely wonderful. And we're going to miss them there, but we can come right down the street, so it's just a walk.
You're still close neighbors, but you had no excuse to have an overdue book when they were with you.
That's absolutely right. And that didn't happen while they were there. So.
Well, Chip, thank you so much.
Thank
Great
you.
talking to you today.
Yeah.
I'm here with my friend and my boss, the supervisor of the town of Lewisboro, Peter Parsons. Now, Peter, you were one of the initial presidents of the library that started the building campaign. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the events that led up to today?
It's been a long journey. It's been roughly 20 years since I sat on a committee to produce a long-term plan for the library. And it's been a steady progression since then, with a lot of bumps in the road. But we've done it. And the people of the town should be very proud of what they've done, because this hasn't just been an effort by library presidents. It hasn't just been an effort by supervisors. And it hasn't even just been an effort by the huge donors. It's been an effort which has stretched across a huge percentage of the people in this town, and they should be proud of what they've achieved.
I agree, Peter. The building, sometimes it takes a little bit of a time to get to perfection, but it really fits this site perfectly. The only thing I see is we might have to do a little work here on the campus to have the rest of the buildings blend in.
Yes, and as if you've read the papers recently, you will know the town is out of money because we've spent it on salt and the people to spread the salt through this rather grim winter. And but it is obvious that this is an incentive for the town to get its act together and get the town house looking in the echoing with the shape of the library. And we will quietly encourage the post office to do the same. And then we will have a town campus of which the whole town can be proud.
I agree, Peter. And all I can say is, we'd like to invite all of our town residents to come here and enjoy the new Lewisboro Library. There's some fantastic changes that have gone on the inside, with beautiful children's space, beautiful meeting rooms, nice little cubby holes where you can study or you could just be quiet and read a book. And Peter, I really think it turned out fabulous.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, the trick of this is the building doesn't look at first sight that much bigger than what preceded it. But once you go inside, you realize that the utilization of space has been amazing, that it is quite a lot bigger in reality. And the architect has really used that space cleverly, so that there is now, for instance, a meeting room which is open to any business in town who wants to use it. And there are more and more people running businesses out of their homes. And they can take a meeting, and they can have a meeting here. The teenagers can come and talk here, if you like, after they finish school. That meeting room is going to be heavily used.
Well, Peter, I just want to congratulate you and thank you for your tenacity and your perseverance in getting this project to its completion.
Thanks.
Cindy Rubino, the library director here at the Lewisboro Library, and she's been here since day one with the construction campaign, working hard to make sure this happens. Cindy, why don't you tell me a little bit about your experience and how happy you are to see the final product?
Thank you for Peter. I'm so thrilled to be here today on the grand opening of the new Lewisboro Library. It's been a long haul. We got started around the year 2000 with the plan, and we've been through many plans since then, trying to find the right mix that would fit on the site, fit in with the town campus, and still meet our needs. That took a long time to get done, but we were able to accomplish it and satisfy the zoning board and ACARC and the town board and everybody involved. We were able to raise enough money to do the project, and Gary Page, our current library board president, was instrumental getting a plan that would fit well on the site, also within the constraints of the money that we raised as well. So it's been 15 years, and we're really thrilled with it. Our architects, Donald McDonald and Renee Purse, did a wonderful job designing a very community-friendly but yet beautiful building as well.
I'm so impressed with how Donald and Renee were able to work with the footprint, just make some slight changes, and it doesn't look that much bigger from the outside, but in the inside, there's a lot of space.
Yes, it's really interesting. A lot of people have said to me that when you're looking at the outside, when you come inside, they're surprised by how spacious it is. The library went from 5,700 square feet to 7,200 square feet, so it's about a 21% increase, but yet they were able to do it in a great way. We've created a separate children's room now with a wall and a door, so the children can be as joyful and noisy or cranky as they need to be, but yet it provides for quiet space for adults in other sections of the library as well. And our architects did a great job of creating lots of spaces separated by the bookshelves. So there are a lot of great spaces for quiet study and reading or work even. You know, we get some people who work from home that come in.
I was very
as
impressed
well.
when I got the opportunity to talk to Donald, and he showed me some of the different building tricks that he did in there, especially in the children's area where he built that beautiful pergola and the lighting, the Chinese lanterns, yet that also has some structural support to the building.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. We were a little surprised that we were going to need that structural support in the children's room, but the pergola was a great, beautiful solution to that. Structural and beautiful at the same time.
It makes it a friendly atmosphere. I think the kids are going to love it. And then the other thing I was very impressed with is the conference room.
Oh, we love the conference room, yes. We have a new conference room. It can seat up to 30 people, and it also contains a brand new, up-to-date audiovisual setup with a flat screen TV that works as a monitor, and we have all kinds of connections to it. We have Apple TV even. You can use your Apple devices that can be displayed on the screen or your laptop. There no longer is a need for a projector. You can take your computer or your device and portray it right on the monitor there. And I have a feeling it's going to be the most popular room in town because we will allow groups, particularly if they have connection with the town or a nonprofit. And I know probably the town's various committees and may be meeting there as well.
I'm sure we could take a lot of advantage of that, even for continuing education, teleconferencing, video conferencing. I really was impressed with how wired the library is. And that was very important, I think, to bring the library forward, that all the advantages of having the wireless internet, places where you can plug your USB port in there and you can charge your phone, or you can connect to the internet, whatever you need to do right there in the library.
All the tables are wired for power. It's not networking the tables, but for power everywhere. Makes it very easy to do that, and people are welcome to do that. Work from any corner and plug right in there. We do have wireless internet in the building always, everywhere too. And I don't want to forget to mention that the library has got many digital media offerings, download services. We've got digital e-books, digital audio books. We have music downloads, many job search sites, a variety of things. We even have a Fashion University database that people can watch videos from top designers to learn how to do sewing or design projects.
Oh, wow.
We really have a wealth of electronic services that are free to our patrons through the Westchester Library System and the Lewisboro Library, all free with your library card. We also added the ability this past year to print from your phone or your iPad wirelessly to the library's printers on site, or you can also do it from home. You
Wow.
can, through the internet, if your printer breaks or you want to come here and work and you know you want to print out here, you can do it from home. And just you can contact the library or look at our website to find out more about that.
That's
So,
great. Even with the post office right next to you, if you forget that you need to mail something, you could print something out at the
Yes, you
library
can.
and
Yes.
get right over to the post office.
Yep.
Well, Cindy, what about how can we tell our residents that are watching today to find out information about what's going on at the library? How can they find out that?
Yeah, our website is www.lewisborolibrary.org. We also have a biweekly newsletter that comes out from the library, email newsletter, that you can sign up for at the library as well. You could keep up to date with things that are going on, events and services that we have as well.
Well, Cindy, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Great seeing you today.
Thank you.
I'd like to remind our viewers that the Lewisboro Library is right on Main Street in the heart of South Salem. On this campus, we also have our townhouse where you can find our town supervisor, our town clerk, or our receiver of taxes, and we also have the South Salem Post Office. For more information about our town campus, you can go to www.lewisborogov.com, and for more information about the Lewisboro Library, you can go to www.lewisborolibrary.org. I want to thank all of you for watching our show today, and enjoy Lewisboro.
You're watching Lewisboro Community Television, Channel 20.